may He rise within us. Welcome. This presentation is brought to you by Dr. S. Joseph Arul Jairaj. If you find these insights valuable, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing this video with your friends and family. The phrase, "May He rise within us," evokes the following thoughts within us. The word resurrection is used here not merely as a noun, but as a verb. By doing so, the word conveys that resurrection is not merely an event celebrated on a single day, but a continuous process that must constantly take place within us. Renewal. This phrase serves as a prayer that during our darkest hours, whether marked by hopelessness or by sin, Christ may rise within us to usher in a new dawn. Inner transformation. The essence of this concept is that, moving beyond mere external rituals, Christ's resurrection should bring about a profound transformation in our character and actions. It fosters the hope that God's mercy and resurrection may yet blossom within us. Easter is one of the most significant festivals in the Christian faith. It commemorates the resurrection of Jesus Christ, specifically His rising from the dead on the third day after His crucifixion. Here are some additional notes regarding its background and significance. Its meaning. Easter is regarded as a triumph over death and as a liberation of humanity from the bondage of sin. It stands as a symbol of new life. A movable feast. The festival of Easter does not fall on the same date every year. It is celebrated on the Sunday following the first full moon after the vernal equinox. Lent. The 40 days of prayer and fasting observed before Easter is known as Lent. It begins on Ash Wednesday and continues until Easter Sunday. Holy Week. The week preceding the resurrection is known as Holy Week. During this time, Jesus' Last Supper, Holy Thursday, and His death on the cross, Good Friday, are commemorated. The resurrection, Easter, is not merely a religious belief, it is also discussed as a historical event based on specific evidence. To explain this, scholars often employ a methodology known as the minimal facts. Here are some key pieces of evidence supporting the historicity of the resurrection. Jesus' death was confirmed. All historians agree that He was crucified and died. Roman soldiers were experts at verifying death. Historically, there is no record of anyone ever surviving crucifixion. The empty tomb. The tomb in which Jesus' body was laid was found empty on the third day. Even Jesus' adversaries, the Jewish leaders, indirectly acknowledged that the tomb was empty. Their claim that the disciples had stolen the body serves as proof that the body was indeed no longer there. Failed counterarguments. Had it been possible for the Roman or Jewish authorities to produce Jesus' dead body, they would have crushed the early Christian movement. However, they were never able to produce His body. Physical nature. After His death, Jesus' appearances were not merely fleeting glimpses. Those who saw Him described touching Him, eating with Him, and conversing with Him. This eliminates the possibility that these were merely hallucinations. Eyewitnesses. After His resurrection, Jesus appeared to many people. Records indicate that Peter, James, and more than 500 saw Him simultaneously. The Bible states that they touched Jesus and sat down to eat with Him. The astonishing transformation of the disciples. The disciples, who had fled in fear and gone into hiding when Jesus died, boldly took to the streets just a few days later, proclaiming, "Jesus has risen." They never abandoned this conviction, even when their very lives were in peril or when they were subjected to torture. No one would sacrifice their life for the sake of a lie. The conversion of His opponents. James, Jesus' own brother, who had not believed in Him until that time, and Saul, Paul, who had actively persecuted Christians, completely transformed their lives, testifying that they had personally encountered the risen Jesus. Scholarly evidence. The research conducted by scholars such as Lee Strobel and William Lane Craig is considered to be among the most compelling evidence in support of these claims. Key highlights of their research.
1. Lee Strobel, The Case for Christ. He is a former investigative journalist. An avowed atheist, he set out to prove that the resurrection of Jesus was a fabrication after his wife embraced the Christian faith. Medical evidence. He consulted medical professionals to determine whether Jesus truly died on the cross or merely lost consciousness. Factors such as the manner in which his body was tortured, and specifically the separation of fluids observed when he was pierced by a spear, confirmed that he had indeed passed away. Legal evidence. He analyzed the weight that the testimonies of over 500 eyewitnesses would carry within a court of law. 2. William Lane Craig, The Sun Rises. He is a distinguished philosopher and theologian. He presents historical arguments regarding the empty tomb. The testimony of women. In the Jewish culture of that era, the testimony of women was not admissible in courts of law. Had Jesus' disciples fabricated the resurrection narrative as a concocted story, they would undoubtedly have attributed the initial testimony to a man. However, the scriptures explicitly state that it was women who were the first to encounter Jesus. This fact serves to validate the authenticity of the account. The burial tomb. The historical claim that Jesus was interred in a tomb belonging to Joseph of Arimathea is considered highly credible. Once again, I appeal to the viewers to subscribe, like, and share this video with their friends and family members.